So I grew up loving cinnamon buns. They are one of my favorite things. On the weekends, my mom would, pop open that roll of cinnamon buns and throw them in the oven. And I would always crack open the glaze and get a little fingerful of it. I mean, that stuff is phenomenal. Now, a couple of months ago, I made a healthy, high protein cinnamon bun, and it was out of this world. This was phenomenal. But ever since then, I wanted to see, could we make something maybe even healthier? Less sugar, less fat, something maybe no bake. I'm thinking raw. Now, I've never tried a raw cinnamon bun. It's something that never really crossed my mind until I got a few comments on it. But when you Google raw cinnamon buns, or raw cinnamon rolls, I call them cinnamon buns, one of the things that seems to come up quite a bit is the EREWHON. I don't know if I'm even saying that right. It's EREWHON'S, which looks to be a healthy grocery store. I believe that's what it is. But people seem to really like their vegan raw cinnamon rolls. So I thought I was gonna give them a try, see what they're like. I'll make the recipe. I might tune it and tweak it a little bit. There's some things that I probably would add to it, like different sweeteners, but I do wanna stick with the raw, completely raw. So, I found a bunch of different versions online that all seem to kind of come together. This particular recipe that I'm following today is from Chanty Veggie, so I will leave the link for her recipe. She swears this is an exact copycat. I read some of the reviews and people seem to think so. Let's get this rolling. First things first, we have a few things that we have to soak, so we'll get the soaking going before we move on to the next step. So we're gonna start with a 1/4 cup of psyllium husk. It's a nice fibrous material, in a large bowl with 2/3 cup water. Just gonna give that a quick mix and then let that hydrate up for about 10 minutes. Now I'm also going to be soaking, now this isn't in her recipe, but this is part of the part that I'm gonna change. I'm gonna soak 10 dates, 10 pitted dates, in just a little bit of water that's gonna soften them up, help make them work a lot better in the end here. Okay, psyllium husk and dates are soaking. We're gonna set those aside. We're gonna let the dates soak just as long as the psyllium husk. So at this point, we're gonna make some oat flour. I have almost out of this. We're gonna do about 2 cups. So this is just whole grained rolled oats. Drop it in the blender. Then we're just gonna pulse that up until it gets really fine. A nice fine powder. This seems to be a pretty simple recipe, to be honest. That looks pretty floury at that point. Now this flour is a mix of oat flour and pecans. So I'm gonna do a 1/2 cup of pecans, drop those in, and then we're just gonna pulse these together until that is a mixture here that we're looking for. Should be kind of floury. Again, pulse it. If you go too far, it gets creamy. I think I'm pretty happy about that, honestly. Now this next step, she does say to add to a food processor, so we are gonna switch out appliances. I do think it's probably important to do that because the blender might not be able to process this together correctly. So we're just gonna add this flour mixture to the food processor, along with our psyllium husk mixture, which this stuff, if you've ever messed with psyllium husk, it is a unique texture, I will tell you that. But it thickens stuff up really nicely. I used to use it all the time making like vegan meats. Now at this point, we're gonna add a little bit of vanilla extract. The thing with raw food diets is you have to use raw sugars, and the only real raw vegan sugars are maple syrups and agaves. Then a little bit of salt, probably like more than your average Joe. So let's mix this together, or until it forms a dough ball, about 15 to 30 seconds, which is plenty of time for today's sponsor. Gang, I've been wearing Warby Parker frames for years, and now you might have noticed in my last few videos, I have started wearing contacts, and that's all because of Warby Parker. Warby Parker offers everything you need for happier eyes. Eyeglasses, sunglasses, contact lenses, and eye exams. And you can shop with them online and in stores. Their glasses start at $95, including prescription lenses with anti-reflective, scratch-resistant coatings. Now, like a lot of people, I used to have a hard time finding frames that I like. I would spend hours trying on glasses before I finally found a pair that I was just okay with. But with Warby Parker, they design every frame in-house, and their collection includes silhouettes, colors, and fits made to suit every face, from neutral classics to bold, eye-catching options. You can shop in-store at one of over 250 retail locations across the US and Canada, where you can browse yourself or get help from one of their friendly expert advisors, which I utilize every time I go in. Or online, where you can utilize their virtual try-on, which works fantastic. Or utilize their free home try-on program, which is how I picked out these. You can order 5 pairs of glasses to try on at home for free. There's no obligations to buy, shipping is free too, including a prepaid return shipping label. Don't know which frames to try? Take their quick home try-on quiz. And Warby Parker will make tailored frame recommendations based on your personal fit and style preferences. So gang, try 5 pairs of glasses at home for free via the QR code on screen or the link in my description. Do you have vision benefits? When you're ready to buy, use your vision insurance or flexible spending account on prescription glasses, contact lenses, or eye exams. Warby Parker, thanks for sponsoring today's video, for always having the perfect frames, and for finally getting me to wear contacts. Boom, look at that. And we are back, and we have a dough ball, thick dough ball. Okay, I'm gonna grab some parchment paper, and then we're gonna get started on the rest of this process. It's exciting. We'll say this smells pretty good. Like this smells really good. Wet my hands just a little bit to just kind of form this into a ball. The only reason why I'm kneading this together is just so it kind of comes out smooth in the end. I really don't want like these cracks that are in here to show up. Put another piece of parchment paper on top and try to roll this out with a rolling pin. And I am gonna try to even this up a little bit just because we want a nice rectangle. I feel pretty good with how that came out, even though there's 2 little layers there. I don't think it's gonna really matter in the end. I feel like that's a good thickness. Pretty happy about that. Okay, so let's set this aside. I'm just gonna cover this up so it doesn't dry out. There's a feeling that might be a problem. And let's get working on our filling, which is gonna be really exciting. Back to the food processor. I'm gonna add my 10 dates. I'm gonna save this water. I'm not gonna drain it. Process up our dates really quick. I've processed dry dates without soaking them, and it just doesn't seem to go well. That's why I was like, you know what? I'm gonna soak them first. And it just comes together so much better. Love the way that came out. We have a nice date paste. Now at this point, we're gonna add some pecans. I don't know if I said pecans earlier. I might've been saying cashews this whole time, but it's meant to be pecans. Process these. This looks perfect. Oh man, it smells so good. Gosh, I love dates. So we do need to make this into a spreadable paste. So at this point, she's adding water. We're gonna use our date soaking water, 1/4 cup of that. A little touch of vanilla, probably a little less because I added too much in the first process. And cinnamon. Now she specifically calls for Sicilian cinnamon, which is it's a very expensive cinnamon. It is very good cinnamon, but it is gonna cost you quite a bit. I would say you could probably use regular cinnamon. The Sicilian cinnamon is a healthier cinnamon for you. There's definitely some better qualities of it, and it's been known to have some pretty good health benefits. So I mean, I'm pretty happy about that. And boom, pulses together, but this should be it. And it smells like a cinnamon bun filling. Truly does. Let's see. Wow. Better than a cinnamon bun filling. That's crazy. That is crazy good. Okay. So now what we got to do is assemble, which I mean, that is crazy exciting. Let's just drop our filling on here. Now the one thing I will say about this recipe is it does seem to be really high in fiber. So I am curious about how that is gonna feel. I don't really shy away from fiber. Fiber is great for you. Very high in fiber. Changes some things sometimes. I have a run tonight. I'm just kind of curious how that's going to affect that run. Okay, so leaving this end here because as you roll it, it's gonna squeeze a lot of that filling out. Along with fiber, dates are also a really great source of potassium. Now, I guess these cinnamon rolls have crushed pecans inside. So we're just gonna drop some of those in here. 1/4 cup of pecans is about 3 grams of protein. I'm kind of curious. I wanna add up all the protein in these and just see how much raw protein are you going with. Okay, let's roll this up. So this dough is dense. That is the one thing about this dough. Here we go. Boom. That is a cinnamon roll right there. Look at that. So all we're gonna do, press this end down. I'm gonna roll this up in the parchment paper, toss it in the fridge for about 30, 45 minutes, maybe a little bit longer probably. I'm just gonna toss it in the fridge for the rest of the day until I can get Monica to come out here and give one of these a try. So might be a little bit later, but we just want these to kind of chill together. I'm excited to try this. I am super excited to try this. But this was a crazy easy recipe. I mean, it went together really quick. Throw this little log in the fridge and we will see what happens. Okay, here we go. This thing is feeling solid. This is a solid roll of healthy goodness. Got a little leakage on the outside here. That's That's okay. It's the good stuff that leaked. I'm gonna square off this edge just for my own fun, and then we'll cut little rolls. Ooh, that is a pretty good, that looks like it. That looks like I mean, look at that. Look at that. I'm so stoked about that. I mean, look at that. Okay, I'm gonna cut one more of these off and we'll bring Monica in to see what she has to say. Wait until you get a load of these guys. Look at these.
What is that? That looks awesome.
This is a raw cinnamon roll.
Ooh, that's so cool.
Raw. I mean, it looks, I don't know, it looks awesome.
It smells good.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Let's see what you think.
Delicious.
That's delicious. Yeah.
I mean, I love this like kind of soft center, like cinnamon,
Yeah.
you know, and then the outside, let me just taste the outside by itself. Yeah, that's like a sweet bread. It's really good.
It has that cinnamon roll taste for sure. I mean, it's dense, but it's also not like crazy, like it's not like gummy at all.
No, it's really good. I like it a lot. You can tell it's a little fibery because it has like a kind of a texture to it.
Yeah.
That's what makes it a little bit dense, I think. But
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's good.
Yeah.
But no, it's not gummy. It's just like almost like
It's
a
bready.
thick, a dense bread, like a doughy, like thick bread.
Texture-wise, taste-wise, it's not overly sweet. There's no like overly, like any sort of like taste or texture.
Well, the good thing is like, so I haven't had this separately. It's not overly sweet, but the good thing is that the bread is like a subtle sweetness and this is more sweet. So when you eat it all together, it's like a perfect amount of sweet. Nothing
there's
is
a nice
too
balance.
Yeah, nothing's too tart, nothing's overpowering. It all works really well together.
Yeah, really,
Yeah.
really like this. So this is your raw cinnamon roll. If you have any other like raw recipes you want me to try or make, any other raw recipes that you would be interested in, that you think I would be interested in, let me know. I'm really curious. I'm gonna have this little extra bit here too. That's it. Boom. This is
Right,
dinner.
taking this with me.
Yeah.
See you later.
Yeah.